touchdown. Here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in. Everyone has matchups that they like better than others, or they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
They'll run on first down with Hubbard. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where...
And it's intercepted. Picked off by Caleb Farley. And the Lions are going to get it back here just past the 35. Well, your first drive of the first quarter, you get it down there, try to fire it in the end zone, and big-time deflation on that play.
No doubt about it. They're moving and grooving and getting into position, and this is not the ending that they saw on this drive, is it? They had things going their way.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Running right, Jones. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. A tackle credited to Deshaun Elliott, the safety.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
Now a play fake, and it's Smith. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Robert Quinn, now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. At their own 26-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with it, but whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. Now Tua. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
On 1st down, Tagovailoa. This one caught by Kittle. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
It is fun to watch the big man work the middle of the field. How about that post route there? Did an excellent job of getting his head around to look the football in and gain significant yardage.
Now this offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. They trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
It sort of looks like they stopped some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But this defense gets 2 more stops. They can keep them out of that area.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Tua. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Whether that's a little grabbing, a little hand fighting, by any means necessary on 3rd down, he was able to get the job done in the secondary and swat that one away.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap. to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Off of play action. Here's Smith. Man open, it's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 22 yards there, a first down.
Good job there getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. 44 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. They'll go again to Jones. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line, he provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
On 2nd and 12, Smith to the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. And inside give to Jones. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Up the middle, Jones. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Latavius Murray, his first rushing touchdown of the year. And the Lions will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Elliott good on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with them down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. First and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Looking to pass, Tua. Kittle catching the slant. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. T.J. Watt. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Throwing on 2nd and long. Tua. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here. After 1st and 2nd down went backwards, it's 3rd and very long. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And they're going to get this up to midfield. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. Set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the 3rd quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
From the 29, Tua. The pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. T.J. Watt able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
On 3rd and long, it's Tagovailoa. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Lions are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team is struggling to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
After the interception, here's Smith. Now he'll throw deep left side. And in for the Lions touchdown. Anthony Schwartz, 54 yards. And the Lions are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead is up to 18 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. They're still down quite a bit here, several scores. But, yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Dante Hightower on the stop.
This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
And here's Jones again on 2nd down.
And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds.
61 yards on the ground for him so far.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit.
Aaron Jones taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Lions take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points.
Elliott good on the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now...
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
T.J. Watt. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front getting to him.
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Jerome Baker. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game. But that's something right there, still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fights still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day. They're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, we might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Geno now to throw. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. 43 yards.
And the Lions get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
the touchdown. Here's Elliott on to kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
To George Hill, a gain of 19 yards.
Tua now on first down. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Divine Diablo. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick six.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. As confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Micah Kiser in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
Tua going to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Darnell Savage. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable 2nd down.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Play action. It's Smith. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
And he's brought down short by a yard. It's a 3rd down gain of 4. They'll go with Jones. And he's not going to get there. Might have even lost a yard. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And Washington will have it on the turnover on downs. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Ready.
Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. They'll set up the screen here for Hubbard. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Tua. And he's got this to Jefferson. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 26. Tua sets up to pass it. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
To throw again on 2nd down. Tua. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. They'll run here with Hubbard. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they've met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding much space.
2nd down and goal. Tua. They'll run the screen with Hubbard. And he is going to lose yardage here. This will wind up a loss on the play. And now what we have here, a 3rd and goal.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. 3rd and goal. Trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. He's got it. Touchdown, Commanders. Justin Jefferson from 8 yards out. And the Commanders are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
And he'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they look to finish strong in this 4th quarter. This is a unit that certainly has turned things around from a week ago. Just a much more productive all-around ball game. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I think it might be time to move to a different section of the playbook there because back-to-back runs, both for loss. Now they have 3rd and long coming up.
Hurry!
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a 1st down.
And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. Now it's Lockett. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
Okay, ready?
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again. We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailed by multiple touchdowns and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Tua. And now here's another interception. Greedy Williams picks it off. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. And they've got the huge lead now. They have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Out of the pistol to give to Jones. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
2nd down, another shot for Jones. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
That'll go as a pickup of 8. Things looking much rosier for him here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll try the right side with Jones. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on all those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Lions, They at least get the win here to earn a split of their first 2 home games. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings.
Meanwhile, for Washington,
they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia.